And welcome back to the show. I'm not going to say what Kathy just said. Kathy Bravata is here from United Laguna Woods Mutual. I want to welcome you to the show. We haven't had you on before. You're maybe a slightly new face in terms of United Laguna Woods Mutual, but you've served here in the community for quite some time.
Yes.
What first got you in to serving here for Laguna Woods, going from just a retiree, enjoying all this time, to all of a sudden having a kind of a job again?
Okay, well, back in February of 2024, Ellen Leonard, who was currently on the Laguna Woods Mutual Board of Directors, asked me if I would be interested in serving on the Village Management Services Board of Directors.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't sure that that's something that I wanted to do. I have lived here since 2011,
mm-hmm.
and in earlier than that, when I lived in Torrance and Long Beach, I was served on our board of directors
mm-hmm.
in various positions: president, vice president, a secretary, member at large. And so when I moved here in 2011, I wanted to get away from that because it does take a lot of work.
Right.
So she convinced me to go ahead and apply, which I did, and was selected. So I started in March of 2024,
mm-hmm.
and I really enjoyed serving on the VMS Board of Directors.
Okay, great.
So
there you go. So they knew you had experience going in, and you knew what you were getting yourself into
Yes.
a little bit too, right?
Yes, quite a bit.
Yeah, so
Quite
it's
a
like,
bit.
you know that you know, and all the work that gets done, especially on the committee level and that kind of thing, it really, you know, when you think about it, it's great to have people like you who want to serve because it's a benefit to the community, right? You kind of know what you're doing, and you know, and you can get things done. Is that kind of your perspective?
It is. It's also, this is such a large community.
Mm-hmm.
My other communities were 30 units and 80 units.
Right.
So when you go from 30 and 80 to over 6,000,
mm-hmm.
It's quite a bit different.
It's like running a city, a little small city.
It is, and it's a learning experience. When I joined the VMS board, I started going to a number of other meetings to get an idea of what was required
mm-hmm.
and how this village
mm-hmm.
works. And it's been a challenge, and
Right.
it's been very interesting talking to people. When your fellow owners find out you're on the board, any board, they constantly ask you questions
Right.
about how things are working.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And the big question always comes up, no matter what board, if it was 40 when you were doing it way back in the day until to here, it's always, where's the money going? Where are our fees going? What are you guys doing with this? How are you spending the money, right? And that's always that concern for people who don't get into the minutia of where all the money goes, right?
Right. That's very interesting. I'm only just getting involved in the VMS United Mutual Board, where all of those things are coming up.
Mm-hmm.
On the VMS board, you meet once a month, and
Right.
it's specifically to see that the company we hired or that
They're doing their job,
they're
meeting
doing
their
their
specs,
job,
they're fulfilling
and
the contract, those
so
kinds of
that
things.
board is quite a bit different than the one I'm currently on.
Right.
The one I'm currently on, there are so many different facets to it. I do believe the United Board, my fellow directors, the positions that they're in, they are doing a wonderful job.
Mm-hmm.
They are trained in those categories or
mm-hmm.
those fields of expertise. And I'm still learning.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, this is my first visit
Right.
to this day. And so there are so many different facets. And it is interesting for our finance people going over the budgets, doing,
mm-hmm.
Trying to do the capital expenses and keeping costs down so that our association dues don't, keep rising.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting, and it's still it's a learning experience. I've
Right.
only been on the board for 3 months.
Right. But
So-
when you see those realities of what the costs are and how they're increasing, from the outside factors, is like you kind of probably go like this and say, well, what can we possibly do?
Yes, I was absolutely amazed. The increases that we have been going through for the last 2 years have been necessary.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a financial person, and I do appreciate our Murad, who is in charge of our treasury. He does an excellent job. So I'm still learning. There is still a lot, but the monies that are being spent, they're being well spent to cover the maintenance, the cost of building repairs. It's the industry is, everything is so expensive now.
Yeah.
And so the costs, I do believe, are reasonable, but we do want to try and keep them from going up and up. But a lot depends on the industry and our world right now.
Yeah, there's some factors that you just can't control. One of the great things I imagine you've experienced, and you know from speaking to the folks at the board, is that everybody brings this breadth of experience of life into this because they're retirees, because they've had 40, 50-year careers in like finance or development or maintenance or whatever, or engineering, that when you get these people together on the board, a lot of them know their stuff and they find their niche in terms of serving at certain committees and that kind of thing.
Yes, and that was, I've applied for the United Board over the last 6-8 months. And I've lost positions to some of the other people that are currently on the board, but they know their stuff. It's amazing the questions that they ask during the committee meetings and the regular board of directors meetings for United. We just have a wonderful board now.
Right.
I really respect all of them and the work that they do and the questions they ask and the answers they're getting. And I do believe this board is doing a wonderful job.
Yeah, when they know how the sausage is made, they know how to ask the
They
right
do,
questions,
yes.
right? And that's the thing about that. And so when you bring that experience to the table, it just, I think, like you said, it really makes it, that you're getting every dime out of every thing you spend
Yes,
in terms of
yes.
those savings and that kind of thing. What's the most important thing that you feel like you guys want to address on the board now that you're on here and you've kind of got your feet under you? What are some of the things you really want to address in 2026?
Oh, that's a hard question.
Well, it's always budget. I'm sure budget's a big factor. And there,
For me, one of the main reasons that I wanted to join the board was communication. I want very much for my fellow owners and residents to start getting involved and learning how what it takes to run a village,
right,
and to understand all of the little nuances that go on. And I've asked a number of my neighbors if they would consider running for the board. And you get the same looks that I gave before I started. It's a lot of work, it's a lot of this, but it's very rewarding. And the only way our community is going to understand what's going on is if they start participating,
right,
as I did. And it's a real eye-opener.
Right. And when I was a reporter with the Laguna News back in the day, and I'd go to the board meetings, and you'd see, because I had to sit through all of these things, and you'd see, wow. So just attending some committee meetings and board meetings, you really see, I think, like the inner workings and what it takes to really kind of run these communities. And that kind of involvement, I think, do you feel like maybe a lot of people in the community just don't realize all of the steps and procedures that go through to get to a decision?
No, they don't. I do know a number of my neighbors, and I can only speak for the area that I'm in. They're more interested in all of the clubs that they can go to, the golfing.
The reason they came here in the first place.
Right, yes. And so they don't want to get involved, but I know they're concerned about the association dues and the costs rising. And I think if they were to start getting involved, they would see how salaries are involved, how the union is involved, the amount of work that has to be done to maintain the beautiful surroundings that we have, the trees, the green, the grass, everything. It takes time and it costs money to maintain. And I don't feel that they're thinking about that, or they actually realize, as I didn't, which is why I started to get involved.
Yeah, and I think there, and I'm going to say this in a clunky way, but communication goes both ways. And if you're sending out all the emails and you're doing all the things and putting flyers up, and people are hitting delete and ignoring those things, then there's a challenge in terms of like, we want to communicate better, but maybe you are communicating. For some, maybe you are communicating, but folks aren't kind of absorbing the information, right?
It's actually word of mouth these days. When I first came here in 2011, we had documents delivered to our door, and then that went away and it became electronic.
Right.
And so the minute it did that, I stopped paying attention.
Right, it's so easy to delete, or just, or I'll get to that later.
And not read it. And I've never been a fan of newspapers, so I don't currently get the Globe. My neighbor downstairs does, so she'll bring it up and she'll tell me, you need to read this, you need to do this, and over the years. So I'll do that, but the information is there, it's available. You can go on the website and find out all of the information you need. And I do believe that the VMS is putting out enough information. We just have to learn to access it, read it, and just start getting involved.
Right. How important are the town halls for you guys to be able to kind of have a more informal way of communicating to the residents and the people you serve?
You know, the town halls, I've only been to maybe 5 or so. I do plan on starting to attend a lot more. We've got a number of town halls coming up where they're going to talk about how Ting functions, how to start streaming and things of that nature, and other issues.
Right.
And it's really important to start going to the town halls. It's on Fridays from 2 to 4, I believe. I don't know, it's once a month.
Right, they do
It's once a month. So I would encourage everyone to start getting involved. It's really important. And this is your home. And so if you were in a private resident, you'd make certain that the gardening is done, that maintenance is done.
The roof's okay, the pipes are doing well.
And you would cover those expenses. Well, this is the same thing. It's just on a very large scale.
Now, remind folks, go to the village website. They have all the information about when these meetings are, when the town halls are, all those kind of things.
Yes.
Great stuff on there as well. What was your career before you decided to retire and you come to Laguna Woods? What did you spend your years doing?
I was a purchasing agent. I worked for a nonprofit organization. It's called the Aerospace Corporation there in El Segundo. Our contract is with the Air Force. And we do research and development. And because we did not make a product and it was all research, all the buyers had to know how to purchase everything from nails, lumber, plumbing. We had our own fleet. I managed our auto shop, took care of all of the parts. We had 60-some vehicles, and just everything.
Wow.
So it's toward the end there, I did mostly contracts, and I did the executive vehicles. And one of the things that I really enjoyed, not one of my very last, but we had some, what are they called? Cube sets that went up on the last Russian ship in 2011 before they stopped us, or anyone for that matter.
Right.
So you do any and everything that's required in a nonprofit, because you don't make a product, so each buyer had to know how to do everything.
Well, you guys, what a great opportunity for you to serve on the board for a group that doesn't make products, but you have to buy everything. You can look at those contracts
and maintain your buildings and everything like that.
Yeah,
yes.
Great experience coming there. So there are opportunities to serve on the board. Let's talk about that. You guys are opened up some applications?
Yes, currently we have 2 open positions.
Looking for 2 vacancies in the terms ending in 2026. Applicants must be United members. Right?
Yes, they are. And you can go to the Laguna Woods Village Community Center here at 24351 El Toro Road. And you can ask the concierge, and they will contact Michaela and Paul, and they will provide you with the application. It's a 2-page application that you fill out with some of your educational experience, your job experience, and there's a copy of the application there.
Yeah, pretty straightforward,
on
pretty
the
simple
board.
stuff.
And it's very easy to fill out. The closing date is February the 2nd, I believe.
Okay.
And then you'll be requested to come to a board meeting and answer some questions, ask questions.
Right.
And
so you guys are going to be reviewing. So this is not going to be an election as they sometimes can be, right?
No.
This is a replacement. So you fill this out. February 2nd's deadline. Then February 6th on a Friday, you're in there being interviewed by you and other board members about, okay, why you want to serve, some experience,
Right.
and you guys are going to figure out among these applicants who the best 2 candidates might be to fill out
Right.
that service. Okay.
Yes. And so
Terrific.
I do hope that if you're interested in learning more about our community, that you will come in and fill out an application to join the board.
Right, 'cause-
It's very interesting, and it is very rewarding.
And you get to play a direct role in doing the things
In
here,
making
right?
decisions,
Right.
yes. A lot of things come across the board.
Right.
Finances, I mean, everything.
You guys are doing budget, you're doing maintenance, your property upkeep, all the things, and the rules and regs and all those kind of
Yes,
stuff, right?
and it's really very, very interesting. When you serve on certain committees, you have the opportunity to vote, make decisions, and present it to the board, and then if the board accepts it, you vote for it, and then it gets taken care of.
Yeah.
It's really very interesting and rewarding.
Now, let me ask you this. It's a learning experience too, right? Because I bet
Oh, yes.
I bet you've learned, like, I had no idea that's how this worked, or those kinds of things. So I mean,
Yes.
in our retirement years, it's kind of fun to keep learning and keep understanding, learning new things, right?
Yes, it is. It is, and oh my gosh. It's enjoyable, and it's really very nice to know that you can ask questions, and staff will listen, staff will answer, or if they don't have the answers immediately, they will find out, they will get back to us. And then the 11 board of directors, we vote on what we want. And we also get involved, well, GRF is the division, the board that determines what's going to be. They take into consideration what 3rd and United and 50 want.
Right, what they bring to the table.
Right, yes.
Absolutely, and there's got to be, while it's work, it's also probably rewarding to see the decisions you made come to fruition.
Yes.
And then and better the community, right?
Yes, it is. And your input, if you should join the board, your input is very important. People on the board listen. Staff does listen. And it is rewarding.
What have you found to be some of the most important things or the most rewarding parts of what you've done?
Oh, gosh. Because I've only been on the United board for 3
Well, you served other
months.
boards. It doesn't have to be exclusively just
Yeah.
this one.
Okay. Just the idea that the communication that you have and the decisions you make that change people's lives, change things in the community that we want to see done for the better, and it's really very nice.
Well, that's terrific and wonderful for you. How long are you serving? You have a full 4 years, or were
No,
you?
mine's 3 years.
3 years, okay.
It's 3 years, not
Okay.
4. And yes, I in the general election last year, September, I was elected
There we go.
out of one of 3 other people. So my term is from December 2025 to December 2028.
All right. Well, we're going to have you back here then before the end of your term.
Okay. Yes.
I insist.
Yes, I will. I will be delighted to come back.
All right, Catherine Ravado from United Mutual. Thank you so much for joining us today.
All right,
Great
thank
talking
you very
to you.
much for having me.
You're watching This Day. We'll be right back with a movie preview for the weekend. Stay with us.